Hello, I am Dylan James, and you are listening to Torque Talks. Today, I have with me in the studio the whole team for Flogang and the creator of Flogang Magazine for issue 1. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
What's up, guys? This is Sean Higgins out of Denver, Colorado, born and raised, 25 years old, and me and my friends made Flogang. Me to introduce you to my next main man.
Yo, what up? My name is Charlie Bolton, 22 years old, and I helped found what is Flogang. The boy right next to me is going to have a baby soon, and his name is...
My name is Noah Mitman. I am 27, originally from, let's say, Moraga, California. I moved to Denver in 2007, so almost 10 years. I say that counts as almost a native. And I'm the owner of Snowman Films, which produced and did everything on the video magazine. Who's next to me right here?
What's up, guys? My name's Charlie Grenhart. I'm a co-founder of Flogang Magazine. I do a lot of the back-end work for all these guys just to make something come out cool for everyone. I don't know. I don't do much.
So you guys just recently released your very first issue, and that's been a long time in the making. I can actually remember some of the first talks about the idea. When exactly was the inception of that idea for Flogang and for the Flogang Magazine idea as well?
Okay, so there's kind of like two different kind of creation stories for Flogang, and I want Charlie Bolton to relay his story for Flogang creation.
The origin story.
I see. So Flogang as a whole was kind of created, it was a while ago. It was like a snowy day somewhere in like January, I think, right? Like ish. And we were like cruising around, and there was like a spot, and there was like no snow because there was snow like everywhere. And so we finally got to like train after like weeks of being snowed in, and it was sick. And then I remember Sean played this like Ghostface Killer Sour Soul album, and we were bumping that, and we were driving down, and we were like just going to the next spot. I think we just headed to Path maybe even. And I was like, wow, like I want to capture this sort of vibe that's going on, like, you know, because like everyone feels that same sort of thing, whether it's like just like chilling at the cut before sesh, or like you're going to this or doing whatever, like, you know, like however you train, like it's chill, like it's tight, like that's what we're trying to flow with, you know. But then it kind of created a platform for like the homies so that they could kind of branch off on what they wanted to do, and that's how Sean sort of like spawned this crazy fucking idea.
Well, to add on to that story, the day, like, I think it was the day or 2 days, 3 days before we went to go search for that spot, we were in the gym in Path Movement. And at Path Movement, you can move all the obstacles around. Everything is movable. It's a parkour gym. And we had put the rail cage on top of the deck for the first time ever. Never did this shit before. And it was crazy. Super lit night. We all threw down, and I had hashtagged Path Gang. Path Gang went in tonight. We went super hard on my Instagram. Peep the date. It's like December something, 2014. And
2014?
Yeah, 2014.
Nice.
And end of 2014, December. And Charlie Bolton he commented the fucking video and hashtagged Flogang. Flogang. And I was like, oh, fuck, that's fucking tight.
Gang.
Flogang, what is that? Like, I was like, oh. And then from there on, we just started hashtagging that shit on every one of our videos. Every single video we put out, we just hashtag Flogang. And then from there, people were like, okay, what is Flogang, guys? And we were like, oh, we don't know. We have no idea what Flogang is. And then we just kind of started playing around with the idea of what we could do, and you know, so we were like, well, shit, let's make some shirts, you know. Let's do some shirts. And so we did. Charlie 2 days later made a shirt. We had access to a DTG, direct to garment printer, so it's just like, oh well, let's do it, you know. Made a shirt, and then it was out, and from there we were just like, sick, okay, now we got shirts. Then I was like, what the hell else can we do? And then, you know, kind of everybody, it seemed, in the parkour world always went, okay, let's make a pro team and then let's make clothes, you know, let's do this. There's so many people I can think of that did that. And I was just like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to follow this trend. I want to do something else. I want to make something different. And that's where filming like a full-on parkour video crossed my mind. And I got this from skateboarding. I used to be a skateboarder, and I wanted to, you know, make like a pro team style skateboarding video or for parkour. And I realized that was just creating a pro team, something that I didn't want to do. So then I was like, what the hell else can I do? Come on, what's going on? So then I was like, oh shit, yo, 411 VM. It was this old skateboarding magazine that I had on VHS, you know, popped it in the VCR and watched issue 44 all the fucking time before I went to go skate.
Kids out there, like, VHS was before DVDs.
Yeah.
And YouTube.
This was way before all that. I was, you know, this is my young days, and I was like, damn, oh my God, I want to do that for parkour. And then, you know, through this entire time, Charlie Grenhart was coming into the mix, and he was just, and I had started tricking a lot more. And so then, like, boom, all of a sudden now it's me, Charlie, and we got this shit, Flogang, and we're just like, hell yeah, what can we do? How can we, you know, make something out of Flogang and create something new for everyone? And then boom, it was just like, all right, let's make parkour and tricking video magazine. And then that came about. We were about to do it on our phones. We were just going to do it on our phones.
Dude, it was sick. Like, we lost some of the drafts. I wish that some of those drafts came back, because there were some sick parts. We had like low key, we had like David Molina for like underground and stuff, and like Chris Hollingsworth introduced him at Pat. It was sick. It was sick.
That was sick. Dope stuff. Yeah, we gotta find those.
Yeah,
do they still exist?
There's Flogang Magazine that people have not seen. It's like,
oh my God,
but it's gone. It might be gone though.
Did? Oh, that first original intro.
Yeah, I remember doing that. Like, I was thinking, it's just like, how can I just like get my friends like excited about something? You know what I mean? Like, I want to give them an idea that they can just be like, oh, that's sick, you know, like, and just run with, because that's just how some of like the best ideas kind of come about, you know, is just like trying to have fun and do something with the homies, you know. Like, it's always been super grassroots, you know. Like, Sean, like, I mean, if you've seen the magazine at all, you know he's like super talented, and he's dove into so many different aspects, you know. And like, I have my own like parkour training, and I remember like going back like to Westlands Park, you know what I mean, like training there, like over with Baby John and everybody, you know what I mean. It was sick with Noah Mitman, if you can remember, like back like when you moved, like, you know, 2007ish, you know, when you came here like for the first
absolutely.
time. You know, like,
I remember the Goodson days. That's back when I like had double backflip outside. Yeah, that's right. I had double backflip outside back in the day.
I remember that.
All right, but to continue with the story.
Anyway,
Then, so that was the original shit, and then, you know, things, I don't know, basically Flogang started to, you know, kind of pick up, started getting bigger. We started really focusing on shirts and stuff, and the video magazine kind of went to the back burner. And then there was a point where it became so real to have Noah Mitman, who's basically the best videographer that I know of in Colorado, especially when it comes to movement. So I was like, well, fuck, I've known Noah for like 8 years or some shit. He was the second free runner I ever met. And I'm going to approach him and ask him if he's down to do this project with me. And he was like, fuck yeah.
Sick.
It was such an original idea, and it hadn't kind of been done yet. And it was something that was different than what was out there. Exactly what he was saying. Kind of everybody does the video, so they put out a single video and it goes on YouTube or Facebook or whatever, and it just lives there. And it's like, okay, like trying to do something bigger, trying to have a bigger idea. So when he mentioned like video magazine with parts, and then we kind of started putting different parts together, and then I realized like, well, if all of these are going to be like 2 to 5 minutes, like we have pretty close to a feature on our hands, and that's fucking sick. And then I think you mentioned the idea of doing it quarterly, and I was like, holy shit, that sounds like a lot of work, but yes, awesome. So I was like, I mean, just perfect time and perfect people, and like, you know, all of us have so much history together. It just made a lot of sense. Like, Charlie, you want to talk about our history real fast?
Yeah, so when I started doing parkour, I started at Goodson Rec Center with Brian Taylor, which he was just here in the room. Shout out to Brian Taylor. so grateful for him teaching me all the stuff that he taught me. And then I started getting into the parkour world, and I saw that there was going to be this jam happening in Grand Junction. And I had a car at the time, and I had money to spend, and I was just like so enthusiastic about learning parkour. I was just like, yeah, I gotta go to this jam. And it happens to be that Noah Mitman was going to school at Auraria campus, which is where I was going to college as well. And so we had known about each other, and it happened to be that he wanted to go to this jam as well. We had one other guy, his name's Jake Smith. He's like a really good free runner from like northern Colorado. Jake Love Smith. I don't know. Shout out to him.
Jake.
He's fucking bad.
He's just the man. And
Shout out Apex Movement. Gang, gang.
and so then we all got in the car. We drove like 5.5 hours to Grand Junction, and I had just met Noah like maybe a week and a half beforehand. And
I was training on campus real fast. I remember this. I was training at where, if you guys see in Sean's video part where he does the first move, that Kong Gainer precision, and like into the B-boys and double legs out. I was training in that spot. And Charlie Grenhart, I had no idea who he was at the time, just comes up to me. He's like, "Hey man, what are you doing?" And I go, "I'm doing parkour." And then we kind of chatted about it. And then I was like, "You should go," because I was training at Goodson at night and with Brian Taylor and stuff. And I was like, "You should go check out Goodson Rec Center." And that's how everything got going. And yeah, the Grand Junction trip happened. And man, just that's crazy that we've come to hear from there.
yeah, so then I pretty much spent the last 5.5 years just like traveling around the world and the U.S., exploring the tricking community, meeting literally every tricker that I could meet.
He's not kidding. Like almost everyone.
I mean, I've been to like, I think like almost 20 gatherings in the last 5 years. And like, I've been to Europe, I think like 12 times in the past like 3 years just for tricking gatherings and events. And I was involved really deeply with the Tricking Tribe. If you are in tricking, then you probably know about the Tricking Tribe. And when Flogang was starting was actually the same time that I was leaving the Tricking Tribe. And I was not going to be done pushing tricking and moving that forward. And I could see that these guys had some really strong visions that I think could help push tricking forward. And so that's why I wanted to be part of the gang.
Gang. Sick.
What's really interesting is so the whole concepts that we're pushing with this is the liquid arts. And I don't know if you guys remember, I put out a video called Bronco Fan Freerunning in like early last year. And it was during we had a shoot with Charlie and Alec Vale and Santana. And that was the day I remember it that Charlie brought up the idea of the liquid arts to me. And I was like, that's what it is. Oh my God, that's genius. So I think Charlie Bolton, you came up with it first, right?
Yeah, and this definition is pretty, like, you better remember this definition. I'm sick of saying it, but liquid arts, liquid sports are practices where the individual has complete control over the philosophical meaning and the movement principles behind their practice. So that involves parkour and free running and tricking and like hacky sack and like
b-boying, anything,
exactly,
dance.
Like it just depends.
So many things that it involves.
Yeah, just however you decide to get into that flow state. You know what I mean?
Yep. You gotta flow like water.
That's true. It's so stereotypical. Oh, that's on all our hem tags. If you look at it, we quote Bruce Lee using like a design that's tight. We got the teacup and the bottle and the pot, to represent like the liquid form, like moving into each different sort of practice.
When the water goes into the teapot, it becomes the teapot. When it goes into the bottle, it becomes the bottle. Be water, my friend.
Yeah, so in the same sense, like you got yourself, which is this empty vessel, and you put tricking into you to become a tricker for the time that you decide, you know, in the same sense that you can remove it just as easily and replace it with a different practice, but have the same mentality. You know what I'm saying, dog?
And I love that concept so much because it's not just, it moves people past like, oh, I'm a tricker, I'm a b-boy, I'm a free runner. Like, you can be all of those things. You can dabble in all of those things. And that's kind of what I really want to move forward with my current training now, is I want to be good in everything because I love all of it. I love the parkour culture. I think the tricking culture is dope. I mean, the b-boy culture is super tight. Like, everything kind of combines together and works super well. So I think it is the next, I don't know, for me, the next level of like philosophy with movement.
I think that like, people, like, you know, you can determine if your life is long or short, whatever you say. But like, if you think about the span of 4 years in your life, that's usually about how I say, like, you know, you're bound to change in some way within those 4 years. So if you take those like 4 years of practice and you think of like, you know, like 10,000 hours being mastering something, it, like, you know, mathematically you can master multiple things in your lifetime and become like sick, you know, and like be that avatar, dog. Different elements, you know, it's tight.
Sick. But yeah, so that's kind of how the video magazine came about. We just wanted to create something that was unique and new and kind of hadn't been seen before. And then I've been really committed to filmmaking for the past 5 years with Snowman Films, and I do a lot of client work. And through that, have kind of come to know about the Alamo Draft House, which is actually where I proposed to my wife. Just this super dope movie theater that has they serve food to you while you watch stuff. You can have beer, you can have cocktails, you can have, you know, whatever. They have a no talking policy for most movies. Like, they really respect the movie going experience. And I also knew that they rent out space to independent filmmakers. So I was like, we have to premiere there and like have an event for this, because this is like, that's how we take this to the next level. So really, really happy with how it came out.
Yo, it was surreal seeing these guys like moving on a big screen, for sure. It only motivated me. Like, my jaw was like open and I was like on the edge of my seat ready to scream the whole time, dude. It was sick. Like, oh man, I can't even, like, it just, like, yeah, be ready for round 2, dog. It's gonna be tight.
So specifically, what is each of your guys' role within the magazine? How do you guys work together to make it come to fruition?
I mean, okay, so this is Charlie Grenhart, by the way, obviously. So first of all, Sean Higgins is like the mastermind behind the actual magazine. When we were having Flogang meetings and he was bringing up the magazine, we got out a notebook and Sean had this idea for all these different like kind of skit sections, segments that are in the magazine, and we just went back and forth there for about an hour or even more, I don't know, and just like figuring out exactly what it's going to look like. And I like have that in my notebook and I look at it all the time, and it's just so crazy that it got turned into like this thing on a notebook to now like a thing in like in the, I don't know, it's just online, I don't know, it's crazy. So so Sean kind of had that idea, and he is really, I don't know, Sean, how would you describe yourself in Flogang?
Yo,
I'm not gonna lie.
he's just sick.
You know,
he's just sick at everything he
I kind of
does.
feel like almost like I'm somewhat the face of Flogang.
Yeah. He's got it, dog.
Am I the face of Flogang?
Like, if any faces are gonna be on a T-shirt and it says like "gang gang" on it, it's got to be Sean and his rec specs, dog. He's got if out of all the silhouettes of movement and like style and just like overall steez, it's got to be like Sean for sure. And like, I'm glad that, you know, like I thought of Flogang, you know, like sick, great, you know, like, but like even then, like it just like popped into my mind, so that I was like, all right, well, this is a platform for, you know, like this guy to flourish.
Charlie Bolton, he came up with Flogang for sure. I embraced it and I fucking was so into it. I was so into Flogang and started repping it super hard, and it just, you know, it just so happens to be that, you know, I'm constantly posting on social media and whatnot. I'm constantly training, so I'm getting, you know, a good amount of recognition. I find myself traveling to places to compete in national level parkour comps, you know, so then the big names start seeing me, following me, and it's just cool as fuck. I just meet these connections and I spread Flogang more, and it's just nuts. Like,
well, you just embody it so much. Like, it's, you know, we're about to actually, on recording this, we're just about to release Sean's part by itself for free, because he just goes so hard on every discipline. And it again, just the complete embodiment of it, like the spirit that we want for like a liquid athlete. Like, that's what you are. So it's perfect for issue 1, and I totally agree. Like, that's just exactly what we're looking for. It's dope.
Yeah, and I guess, you know, that's how it was. I started definitely just as your backyard flipper, you know, just flip off anything I could fucking find. And then got super into b-boying, was battling in the Denver scene for, you know, several years. At the same time was putting in work at Goodson Rec Center, parkour, free running with Brian Taylor once again, you know, the man, dude.
Brian Taylor is the godfather, legend, man,
bro.
seriously.
I swear, he's the baddest motherfucker I know, seriously. Shout out to Sifu Bama. That's what I had him saved in my phone as.
Yeah, he's actually one of the people that makes it possible for us to even have these Torque Talks. So Brian Taylor really is the man.
He's a bad guy. But so, you know, just b-boying and free running. I was one of those few free runners who kind of just put those elements in. And then went to college, went away to Greeley, hour north of Denver, did my thing. You know, got a degree in physics, was dope. I love it. You know, shout out to my time over there. But my real passion truly lied in the movement.
Just randomly threw a degree in physics in? I didn't know you had that.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah,
that's insane. He's good at school. Yeah. It's crazy.
That's the thing. But, you know, I just never saw myself working for Lockheed Martin or, you know, I just didn't like that idea. Yeah. So I wanted to make my own thing. And now Flogang is a fucking thing. It's tight. But anyway. Through when I came back from school, that's when I started working at Path Movement, which is parkour gym, who was opened by Brian Taylor once again. But at the same time, the tricking tribe was getting the space next door, and so the trickers would just be tricking next door, and I would just be going over there and practicing my tricks. Fell in love with tricking. I love tricking so much. I've been to every gathering since I've gotten into tricking. I've been to every gathering in Colorado that they've thrown. It's just so sick. And then I'm really trying to go to many more.
So then, going back to the roles of Flogang. No, that's good. It's
that's
good.
His role, dog.
Yeah,
that's
talking
about.
Yeah, so
yeah,
Sean is just like the guy that he is. A Flogang athlete, artist, like.
If you just heard of Sean, like, you're like, whoa, and he's just like so good at all these things. Like, man, where'd he come from? It's like he came from like nonstop like exploration and different like things, and like not having an ego at all to like just be like, I'm gonna do all of it, like you know, like
yeah, and a low key physics degree.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He's in school. He went to Greeley, dog. Is tight. He has videos on Instagram of him like flipping on like Greeley signs and stuff. It's tight. And I remember seeing that, and I would be like at Goodson or whatever, and I would be like, dang, like Sean is like, he's at school, I miss him, but like it's like crazy seeing him like still training and being like better than me, you know what I mean? Like, dang, I'm like, I have my own gym and everything, like at Goodson, and like you're on like a campus like throwing down is sick.
So Charlie B, excuse me, your role.
All right. I'm terrible at school, first off, you know what I mean? I knew that like I wouldn't really be like following any kind of like guidelines to get like a degree of sorts, you know. I've definitely like thought of like futures in education, but like the education is always like brought up by like some necessity from Flogang, you know what I mean? Like, oh, it's like, do I want to get like a business degree so I can like improve this like business that I've already pretty much started? And like it kind of boils down to like, no, you know, like I just want to kind of just keep pushing it the way I have been, you know, and just be like, keep it as like, you know, as low key as I can like that. And as it went on, like I mean, I don't know, I just like being able to have a sense of belonging to something in a sense, you know. And you know, like Flogang started off like really like just like meaninglessly, like, you know, anything else starts off and from there it just sprouted like, you know, all of these actual like, you know, these these ideas and concepts, and like, you know, and now people get like really excited about it, you know, and I'm glad that I've just like had the opportunity to create something that someone else can be excited about, you know.
Dude, education through necessity is the most effective education.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You know, I was doing like I don't know, random subjects and stuff. You know, I wasn't really guided at all. You know, so it was tight finally having something I could like kind of follow and represent. You know, but yeah, it's tight. Cool.
Yeah, essentially, Charlie is our artist, and he just like literally comes up with the most brilliant ideas, and then I'm just in the background trying to make sure that it works. So every idea that Sean and Charlie come up with, it's just essentially my job just to make sure that we can keep moving forward and they can keep coming up with new ideas to do what they want to do so much. So.
Yeah, like I remember I mentioned it at the premiere, but like when it was all kind of coming around, there was a few other kind of like, you know, quote unquote business endeavors that I had. Like there's a video on YouTube I have that has like 7,000 views of me like painting a kendama, and so it's so funny. Like, yeah. And I don't even like do that anymore, but it was just like this like funny little like, you know, like, oh, I could like start a business around this like sort of thing and do this, you know, and things would come in and out just because of my like lack of commitment towards like actually starting the business. And then when Charlie G finally stepped in, it was just nuts because he like I remember going onto like the Colorado Gov website multiple times and just being stumped by it because I'm an idiot, you know what I mean? and then Charlie G is like, fine, I'm just gonna do it. I'm doing it. I'm going. And he did it, and he's like, I have the EIN number, dog, and I was like, yo, so Flogang's like a thing, dude. I was nuts. And from there, it's been like, well, dude, we gotta go, you know, like it's tight. So it definitely is. It's definitely, you can see it's like it's a collaboration of like all three energies, and we definitely love to pull like, you know, just as strong of people in, like, you know, Noah, who, yeah, you were gonna say something.
Huh?
Right. Were you gonna say something? I interrupted you.
All I was gonna say is that I pressed the red button.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a bit more than that.
He edited everything. It's not. I like times when I was sitting back, like he was dealing with all of the anxieties while I was just sitting there like, oh, we're gonna go to the premiere, it's gonna be so fun, and you're just like going in on like your keyboard and stuff.
When we
literally bleeding and sweating on it.
Yeah.
I literally I lost an entire night of sleep. Like, so when I got to the end and it was like I hit export and I realized that we had basically Charlie was second camera on a couple of them. But basically single-handedly had produced and edited an entire feature-length thing in like what, 2 months, 3 months, and edited the entire feature-length thing in like 2 weeks. And every single minute was used. We had to submit the film to Alamo Drafthouse a week before the premiere, and I literally used down to the minute of the time that we had to hit export. It was crazy. Like I have a standing desk. I worked the entire night, like 2 nights before, and just grinded it out. And was like, I'm so proud of it, honestly.
So if you didn't catch that, he said he has a standing desk. This fool stands up. He doesn't sit in a chair and edit. He stands up. And the reason is because sitting in a chair is actually bad for you. So look that shit up. Because Snowman is smart as fuck.
I credit that to the photographer Chase Jarvis. He had this, I followed him for a while, but he had this whole kind of tips on healthy working. And the standing desk was basically like, you know, how to keep your energy going through the whole day and have more energy through it. And I was like, all right, I'll try it out. Did it, and I seriously, like, because you can move around, you can jump, you can dance. Like, I was, you know, jamming out to the songs while I was editing, like moving a little bit, and it really just, if you have a desk, I recommend just try it out. Put like another table on top of it and just give it a week and see how you feel after that. If you hate it, go back to sitting, but like it has changed my work ethic.
That's tight. Yeah.
Yeah,
Flogang, liquid sports tip. No Mitman pro tip.
And like speaking of flow, that's it works so well for me too. Because I mean the philosophy. Because when I edit, I get into the flow state. I mean, you can ask my wife. I literally forget to eat a lot of days because I'm just like have you let the dog out? Have you eaten? I'm just like, oh, no, I was editing. Sorry. I lose hours just because I'm in the flow state and just creating and just having fun. And that's the most powerful way to create, I think. It's just super effective and
it feels good.
Yeah.
Like, you want to talk about
you-
that. It's the best feeling is like when you're in that zone, you know, and everything is just like, it just happens. You know, like you don't have to do things, they just happen and you're just sort of along for the ride. And it's like I never notice like my energy depleting in the flow
exactly.
state, or
You can
like,
go for
yeah,
hours. It's the same. I mean, think about just in terms of, I mean, because I've trained parkour for a bunch of years, so a bit of a parkour analogy. But like when you're going for like a big Kong precision, that level of focus, and you're like, I'm right here, right now. Imagine having that at your job every day for hours, like that razor focus, where you literally nothing else matters. You're not hungry, you're not whatever, and then when you come out of it, you're like, oh wow. It's 5 o'clock and I haven't eaten since I had a cup of coffee this morning. Like, it's pretty incredible.
Now, how do you guys feel now that the first issue is actually out and released and premiered, and you know now you can start stressing about issue number 2 because it's not over, right?
Yeah, we're motivated as fuck. It's sick. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I literally feel like the premiere was just like a party just to tell us that we had a bunch of work ahead of us. And it was just like, hey, this is the start and now we're about to go in. So I don't know, like everything from here on forward is just like filled with motivation from issue 1. Like, I don't know, issue 1, I literally have been watching it every single day. Like multiple times a day. Sometimes I put it on just to listen to the songs that are actually in the issue. I just really love it.
Real quick, I want to just note on that soundtrack. That was a huge, really like kind of underground, really sick part about Flogang Magazine. Denver, Colorado, you know, it's really growing as a city, and I've watched it grow my whole life, and I've become now a part of the local music scene. You know, the MC Higgs Boson, a part of the group FedRez. So
Shout out to FedRez.
FedRez, you know, look me up on SoundCloud, FedRez, SoundCloud, Bandcamp, Spotify,
Denver,
iTunes, Denver, but
Featured by
but
Westward
so
Magazine.
because you know, obviously I'm in a hip hop group, so we're gonna use, you know, at least one of my tracks for sure. I'm all about that. The whole group was like, yes, you guys had to use our tracks. Not only that, my brother is an MC who's on a label in based out of Brooklyn, Sadat X's label. So he's got a track featuring Oh No, Madlib's brother, as well as Sky Zoo. So that shit is dope. He has some dope tracks, so check out Zeri Ziggs. That's my bro. You know, shout out to the track used in Spot Roulette. That's Zeri Ziggs. But anyway, then, you know, other local bands that I've just gotten to know through my time here in Denver, being in FedRez. So we got, you know, Rubedo, which is a crazy psychedelic rock band, super dope music. We got Wheelchair Sports Camp, which is they're so crazy. Like, Wheelchair Sports Camp is a hip hop band fronted by Kaylin Heffernan. She is, you know, a dwarf in a wheelchair, just killing it on the mic. Oh my God, she's nasty. Lyrics are off the chain, and you know, she just kills it. So it was dope to use her music. She just got signed to Sage Francis's label, so real sick hip hop and shit coming out of Denver. Like, and then Main Rock, super OG fucking hip hop MC from Denver too, you know, just like really always been killing it. One of the pioneers.
Listen to how enlightened this dude is. He's like, he could talk like this about any other sport he does too. Like, for real, it's sick.
Dude, like the music on the video mag, it's so
was
gross.
awesome.
And it's all Denver. It's all local. Oh, plus shout out to fucking G Space, you know, Tricker, badass motherfucking Tricker. Actually, super funny story, was in Colorado during a FedRez show, and he actually came with the Tricking Tribe, and they all did a little tricking performance at a FedRez show, which was on Santa Fe. It was during the First Friday Art Walk here in Denver. It was dope. It was a show that FedRez planned with, you know, local artists, local painters. We had local kendama painter, you know, Kendama Co was there.
Shout out to Kondamiko. Rest in peace, bro.
I know, right? But you know, it was crazy, and I got the chicken try to come through, and G Space performed in front for FedRes. That shit was dope. So, and then now he's in the video mag. So it's all crazy connections, super wild.
So
That
here's
the music in the mag is dope.
Yeah, I was super impressed with the music that we got permission. I mean, because it's all we had to, you know, got permission to use it, and just the lineup. Like usually when you have to get permission, you get decent stuff, but it's not always like top shelf. And we just got so lucky with all the stuff, and we have so much music more from like the same artist, and just we have so much stuff to use. I'm so psyched. Fun little behind the scenes fact: we originally had the bangers with Josh edited to a different song, and then we found out about Main Rock. We're like, oh right, Main Rock. Turns out Main Rock is freaking Josh's uncle, and I was like, well shit, we have to use a Main Rock song
For bangers,
like
you know?
that's so sick. So his uncle is rapping when he's doing bangers.
Yeah, that connection is dope. Also, real quick, I gotta make this little shout out to my high school. Shout out to John F. Kennedy, because within fucking Denver Public School, within issue 1, you have myself. I went to Kennedy. You have Abel Martin, fucking Mile High Goon Squad, badass tricker, triple corker. Just a fucking animal. He went to Kennedy. Then there's bangers with Josh. He went to Kennedy. The band Rubedo, they went to Kennedy. FedRes went to Kennedy. Zary Ziggs went to Kennedy.
Don Martinez has a Flogang shout out in the middle of it.
He went to Kennedy. Bro, Kennedy is low key up on the scene in issue 1. I didn't tell any of these dudes. I was just keeping it secret. And it is so funny to me. I'm just, oh, hell yeah.
Is it still going?
Shit is tight.
Yes, my phone's still alive. So
All right.
we're live streaming
Back
right
to the
now.
questions.
But anyway, so kind of how we're feeling. Way off track, but that was awesome
Yeah,
stuff.
what's in that?
No, that's
school food, dog.
That's important. That's actually the better stuff that I would want to know.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know, is like those low key things,
love
like
it, man.
the fact that Josh's uncle made the song that he tricked to, and that's so funny. Like so
Bangers,
what else?
It was finished, and we completely re-edited it. I was like, all right, we got to do it.
You completely re-edited it.
It's yeah, right.
We didn't do shit. Noah's sitting over here on
Look
his
at how nice
computer,
he is,
like
dude.
working hard as hell.
I'm just sitting,
making this shit work.
I'm sitting at home, and I know he's standing now. Like it's funny. Like I'm just like 3 feet lazier than him. You know what I mean? Like,
Man, it's funny. I'm used to saying we because of the operating Snowman Films language. I say we. Snowman Films is me, but I do hire other people out for an occasional job. So I use Snowman Films as we. So I'm just used to saying it. So I say we because of the collective Flow Gang. But yes, I put a lot of hours.
yeah,
in.
I mean
it's good that you guys are willing to give that to him as well, because that's he definitely earns it.
yeah.
I
Like,
do have to give a huge shout out to Sean Enders, who color corrected like 90% of the magazine. It looks fantastic, and we're going to continue using him. If you guys have any color grading needs, Sean Enders, look him up. He's a parkour athlete. He's incredible, and he loves to color.
nice.
But yeah, so issue 1 was amazing, like super party night. Like I haven't drank in a while, and I got a little crazy that night. It was a good time.
We ended up running into fucking Robbie Corbett and Sam Parham, originator of fucking 3-Run, dude. You know,
Yeah.
like they were just in town
funny.
doing a
Met up with them in
WFPF
a bar.
certification, and we just went up. Me and Noah rolled out to the View House,
Saw it
which
on
is
this
this
little
fucking
Snapchat.
rooftop bar in downtown Denver in Lodo. It's where all the, just freaks are. Really fucking party. I've seen a motherfucker get stabbed there. Biggest
Really?
puddle of blood I've ever seen.
Oh my God.
in my life.
Oh,
Was
Same
at
place
the View House, bro.
Yo, gang.
But,
Flow gang or die.
yeah,
I used to do
shit
photography
that
there.
shit is ratchet there for sure. But that shit was funny. So we got a little
God,
lit.
dude.
Needless to say, it was lit.
It was a party, but it was like, we were celebrating. It was it turned out as good and better than I thought it could be. The after party at Apex Movement was super fun. Thank you, Vinny, for hooking that up, and David for taking care of that.
Shout out Apex
And
Movement.
honestly, going into issue 2, like, I don't know, I'm used to the grind. I'm used to this super hard work. So I'm just I want to make it as good as it can be, and I'm ready. I'm just ready for issue 2.
Plus Colorado, oh my God, you guys. Like, it's ridiculous how many amazing athletes there are here. And the fucking lineup for issue 2 is absolutely insane.
The talent is deep.
You guys are not ready at all.
That was actually my next question is what, if anything, can you guys tell us about what's coming in issue 2?
I will say one thing that won't give too much away. We have some of the same video parts and some new video parts.
It's true. And, you know, we always like to keep switching it up and do new things, but I think that, you know, as far as like liquid sports go, it's all about, you know, having like kind of a criteria, you know, that you're working with, and then how you kind of like move your way around it and modify it. And so in the same sense, we really want to take like the video magazine, you know, and keep it as liquid as possible, you know, like have the same sort of video parts that you can sort of familiarize yourself with. But we definitely want to like hit you with some stuff that even like a really knowledgeable freerunner or tricker will still be like, whoa, like this element they added is like crazy, you know, or like whatever, like the combination of this, you know.
Yeah, for sure. We got some ideas, and this is the one spoiler I'll give is that, you know, shout outs to just the communities we have here, and we want to keep putting a shine on that. So as in issue 1, you know, we put a spotlight on Apex International and then the Flogang comp that we threw. This time around, you know, what just went on was DMG, you know, Donnie Martin Gathering. So we're definitely going to be having, you know, some coverage of DMG. It was super dope gathering here in Lafayette, Colorado. Super dope. So that you should definitely see some clips from that.
Shout out to Donnie Martin. If you don't know who he is, just type in Donnie Martin IHOP and you will find out who Donnie Martin the Tricker is.
Oh, that's great. I was actually there for that.
Yep. It's a super legendary clip. I mean, like Donnie Martin, he does a double cork, a hop step double cork in IHOP.
There was so many people there in the IHOP too. It was packed.
There was
barely room to move.
It's like a real, I don't know. It's just like, just go online, go on YouTube, type it up. You'll spend some time on YouTube
Where was
tonight.
that? Was that
anyways,
a KTG? Was that a KTG?
Yes, it was a Kansas City gathering in Kansas.
Shout out to Mike Guthrie, who's just on the show. He actually hosted that one, and that was an awesome gathering. It was a lot of fun.
That's a name to maybe watch for in some future Flogang issues, by the way.
Ooh.
We're just gonna leave some silence there.
He's a cool guy.
He's a good guy. But yeah,
he's a good kid.
Okay, and when can we expect it?
April 25th.
Oh, we have a date. We haven't started shooting, and we have a date. All right.
Yep.
Did Charlie just surprise everyone with that date?
No, not at all.
Because the reaction I got from the room was kind of like, "Oh, wait, that's for real? We're definitely firm on that."
We just hadn't made it public yet.
Well, I've made it public several times.
Yeah. Noah may have been a little shocked about it, but I don't know. Sean, Charlie, and I, we're definitely on it.
I announced that on the live stream at the premiere of
that's a good point. Yeah,
of issue 1. I was on the live stream being like, April 25th, next one.
just as a heads up to everyone, that is the Tuesday after the Pikes Peak gathering, which is in Colorado Springs, and so anyone that is planning to be in Colorado Springs might want to stay around for another 2 days. Come to the premiere of issue number 2 of Flogang Magazine.
One other thing I'll say for issue 2 is issue 1 obviously sold out extremely fast, 24 hours. That blew us away. That was super cool. It was only 40-seat theater, and so it kind of went fast. For issue 2, we have a 134-seat theater, so there's going to be some more available tickets.
Up.
Yeah. Because we didn't want to go to, the budget was small for the first one. We were like, we just want to see what we have here. And then it just just sold out like that. And we're like, well, okay, we have something here. So yeah, going big.
I mean, that's how you put some out, and
Exactly.
the market's response. How people respond to you is going to tell you whether you're doing something that only you like or that maybe everybody likes. But so where can I find the issue 1 that's out to purchase or rent?
You can go to flowgangmagazine.com and no W, Flogang, by the way.
And that's just like in general, guys. If I see a W in a flow gang, I'm gonna be so pissed at you, like on an individual level. It's Flogang. It's misspelled because that's how we want it to go. Like for real, like
because that's how we would spell it. Dog.
Yeah,
like come on.
I blame autocorrect.
I don't know, whatever works.
So
We love you.
so go
Does
ahead.
the hashtag always have to be there?
Nah, I don't know.
Nah, it's just
more
is a thing,
reasonable.
dude.
Because I see
It's
I
just-
see it a lot.
I mean,
so I don't know.
it is often there because the idea is that people,
Anyone could be a part of it.
anyone that gets into flow is part of Flow Gang.
Use that.
That's it. That's like all these people that we know that dedicate themselves to these weird movements that they're doing, like tricking and parkour and snowboarding and fucking kendama,
Slacklining, what's good? Like I don't know.
slacklining, all this, like they are part of Flow Gang inherently because that's what they're trying to achieve is the flow state. And so please go on to flowgangmagazine.com, click watch issue 1, watch the trailer, and go ahead and buy that on Vimeo on demand on our website.
And let me stress that when you buy issue 1, like you really truly are supporting this idea and this community, like we went through and we got some of Colorado's best athletes, but they're just people who like to fucking trick and people who like to do parkour. But now through this, if you buy this magazine, we have an opportunity to pay these people, to give them something more, so that they can trick even fucking better, so just keep that in mind, when you buy or rent this, like you really truly are giving it to these people, this is all made by, us. The gang.
I mean, that's kind of a big part of what we want to do too, to support and build a community and grow the community is, having when you're, we want to have athletes be able to be paid for their work. And that's a goal that we're working towards. And, we just think that, again, what if you watch the intro, what Charlie says is talent should be recognized, and it's what people are doing is so pure with their training that we want to be able to give them opportunities and support and make this into an actual like viable career path eventually. So just growing grassroots, man. We're going hard.
Yeah, so other than that, which is fantastic, that's exactly what needs to be happening, is that grassroots, like, let's make this happen attitude. But other than that, do you guys have any other closing thoughts? We're actually approaching the 50-minute mark.
Gang. Just be ready. I don't know. Like, it's an ongoing thing that, like, I'm, like, a lot of it is unplanned, and we leave that spontaneity up in the air so that random ideas can come back down to us. And so it's like there are things that Flow Gang will become that, myself and Charlie and Sean don't even necessarily know that are going to be involved. But now that we do, we have the magazine, so we're going to keep pushing that sector until the end of time, But, just think of like the next best thing that's going to be up. I don't even know what it is, like it's sick. Tight.
I think the one thing that we all know is that we're going to just keep doing this because I know for me, I had a blast helping Flogang Magazine become what it is, as well as I enjoy every single day that I'm working on Flogang and the clothing side of it and the business side of it. That puts me into flow. And so there's no reason why I'm going to stop anytime soon. I know Charlie Bolton, he doesn't have anything else better to do with his life besides push Flow Gang harder than anything, and that's all he's going to do. And Sean, I mean, we just talked about Sean for like ever, so we don't have to say anything else about this fool.
It's important. You got to know about how.
No, but it's real. Like my closing statement is follow your dreams. You know, like I'm out here, dude. I've done it. I went to college, and then all throughout college, I was working 9-to-5 jobs and shit, dude. I've done it. Fuck that. I ain't trying to do that anymore, dude. I'm not trying to work for somebody else. Let me be my own boss, and I'm gonna make it through whatever is Flogang or my hip hop group FedRes. I'm doing what I love to do, and it's fucking tight. I'm living like the sickest life that I don't imagine it any other way. And so, you know, I just stress, follow your dreams. If you have an idea, attack it, go for it, do it. You know, thinking and putting it in the universe is one thing for sure. Absolutely. That's how it starts. But you got to put in work to make it, to push it and follow through. So just follow your dreams and work hard, you know, grind, baby, grind, do your
Grind
thing.
it out, hustle it. I got one last statement, which is, when it's food for your soul, keep feeding it.
Yeah. Stay hungry, dude. Like, yeah.
That's perfect. I like that quote a lot. A lot. Yeah, and that's those are exactly the types of things that we at Torque are trying to promote as well, is that mentality of no, just fucking do it. Like whatever it is, whether it's learning how to like perfectly balance a 3-cupped, you know, wooden thing on top of a ball, you know, talking about kendama, and you balance it perfectly, and like, or it's learning kick flips over a stair set, or designing something, or like whatever it is out there, whoever it is listening, go do what makes you want to get out of bed. You know, like go do what you would rather stay up, but you know you have to go to bed because you have to get up and go to work, or like do something. Instead of going to work, just do the thing for the rest of ever. Like, obviously, pay your bills, but just do the thing.
Find a way to make it work. It'll work.
I'm broke. I'm so broke. So I don't have a choice.
And I mean, here's some reality. Like, I actually just a couple days ago got a new job. I haven't had a job in 5 years since Snowman Films was born, but I applied. I'm a salaried filmmaker now for a fitness company. But it is a 9-to-5er, which is, you know, I'll have less time, but it's still within the space. I'm still making and creating every day. So it's still me following what I love and creating, and it's for a different company, but I'm, you know, again, Flogang is not going to slow down, so I get to work nights and weekends now to make stuff happen, and I'm not afraid of that. Like, I'm super excited, and I get to support my family with the salary and go after what I love to do, and eventually, hopefully, you know, the side projects will be enough to fund comfortably the family, and I can do that full time. But for right now, like, you got to do what you got to do.
Exactly. Yeah, I actually saw this quote the other day. I forget who it came from. I think it was just one of those anonymous quotes floating around, but it says, everyone should find 3 hobbies. One that supports you financially, one that keeps you in shape, and one that appeals to your creative side. And I absolutely fell in love with that. And I encourage everyone to go and do that, because I think all of us here have some form of all of those, and it can be the same thing for all 3. You know, it doesn't have to be different, but they could be totally different things as well. But I think that's my closing thought, just to leave you guys with that. So anyways, you guys know where to go pick up the new Flogang issue 1 and start getting excited for issue 2 coming out in April. Also, pop on over to TorqueTricking.com where you can pick up some of our apparel. We actually have a new shirt that's going to be dropping very soon this month, so pay attention. All right, have a good one.
Later.
Peace.
Gang, gang.
So whoop.